Oh, yes, 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 yes. Look at US 30. All right. So, as you know, there's a big market crash coming where this thing could literally drop really bad. Like, I'm not saying that it'll drop back down to here, but there's a possibility that it could drop all the way back down to 28. Possibility. Only possibility. This is monthly. After this push, because this drop was really bad. I remember we were all trading US 30 then. That's when I was a little rookie, didn't know what the hell I was doing. But all right, so here's the high, right? Let's put the high here. The bears came in and dropped. Let's put some frackles in. There's no monthly frackle right here. We do have a monthly frackle right here at this area. I'm gonna figure out what this area is. Let's just the put this in here. All right. So let's go on the weekly. Okay, so it's basically where all these wicks are at. But I'm gonna say it's probably this area to narrow it down. So we got an area down here, but we also have an area right here where all these wick rejections are at too. And it's kind of there. This could be a liquidity. What do you call those things? Liquidity swap or something like that. So we gotta see what happens. Yes, monthly wise, I feel like we could probably come down to 28 if this crash happens this month. If it postpones the crash, then I mean, it is what it is. But if we have that big crash that's coming, because Netflix took a really big dump, and Tesla did too. A lot of them did. But if we had this crash, it could come all the way down here if the crash is bad as people say it is. But till then, we'll trade it one day at a time. All right. So we got past this area. We're right here. Now you got to pay attention. As a trader, you have to pay attention. We have got that. We got one, two, three, four. We got four wick rejections right there. We got a deep wick rejection right here. And every wick rejection, as you can see with your own eyes, made weekly frackles. So not saying that. So this is the thing as a trader. This is where your analysis need to be on point with this. This candle next week ain't finna just blow past this area. It's gonna have to wick. It's gonna react. There's gonna be a reaction where it's at right now. Is what I'm trying to say. Don't just put a sell in here blindly and think it's gonna come down here. You gotta keep in mind it could possibly react where it's at right now. Now we do have a deep, nice candle close with no wick at the bottom, so there is pressure to the downside. But let's just see. Let's be let's see what happens. Because this every time it gets to this area, it just bounces back up. So we're here now. We're here now in the week. So before we get into a sale, don't wait until the market come in and get into a sale. What I would want comfortable with my trading style is we need a break of this area, right? And then a retest to let us know that this is now a ceiling. Then we take it down here. You see what I'm saying? Because right now, what the scenario looks for this is Monday we could have all these wick rejections down. It'll probably come down and wick some more down here, and they'll sit right here, and it probably will start coming back up. There's a possibility. The wicks are just more liquidity grabs. That's just how it is. But this is what happens. Because obviously I'm not saying that the market mirrors the last couple of moves, but just keep in mind, be smart. Keep in mind, if you let's just say you wanted to get into this buy right now, once you get your confluences together. You want to get in this buy to come back up. I don't know why this thing be doing that. If you're gonna get in this buy and your account big enough, I'll fill up these wicks. I don't want to be a liquidity grab, so I'll be below the wicks. Let's just say you were swinging it back up here. If that was the case, you know, I would make sure your stop loss is below these wicks, so you won't just get wicked out and be liquidity grab or whatever. You know what I'm saying? One second. So there's a possibility wick down. It is trap. It could trap the sellers if that's what they call it, or I don't call it trapping sellers. I just it's having a hard time becoming bullish again, and it could just do this and then shoot back up. First stop would probably be right there, and if it makes it past this, then they'll come back up here. This will be beautiful. This will be a beautiful trade if this is the way the market's going to do Monday, because we don't know. We can only predict what's going to happen. We can only predict. But even more beautiful is a break, retest, and come down here, right? If this happens, we could have a nice little short from here to that area. That's a smaller short. Now, next scenario for the sake of the market crash is this. Once we get the break of this area in the retest, now, if we get a break and retest of that area, then ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna put this. You can use US 30 mini too if if it's uncomfortable. Then we have that. This is what we have. So these are the three possibilities for US 30. I don't know which one's gonna happen first. Next week could possibly pull back, or next week we could probably have a break and retest and come down to that little area right there and get stuck a little bit. Or we could just wait for this break of this area and this retest, and we could take this thing to hell. Those are the three scenarios for US 30. Now, what makes more sense to me is these two right here. I ain't gonna lie, for next week, these two makes more sense. So I'm more, and this one actually makes more. I'm not saying I'm biased on the sale, but in the way it closed, this one looks like it makes more sense. And then this is the second one that makes sense. This is the third. This ain't gonna happen in a week. So this is the number one, number two scenario, number three scenario for next week. That's just if a whole week happen. I mean, it could possibly happen. You don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, this looks like it's one of these two things that are gonna happen. So just based off the levels that we're at and how we, especially this area right here, has this remember, right here we had a bullish engulfing candle, and then the market just retested that area and just came up. So which one are we gonna have next week? I guess we're gonna see, but just wait for the confirmations. I always go to the weekly. I always go to weekly. And see my last video when I was back testing. I back test on the week. I do my markup for the week and see what's gonna happen. Then I go on a daily trade. We're day traders, so I trade the daily candles. So I mean, yeah, I can go to H4 and I can find setups on the H4. I can even find setups on the hour. But I love my holy grail is the daily and the weekly and the monthly, because this is telling me everything. This is telling me we have a lot of selling pressure. So that's why this is my first thing is break, retest, and come this way. So a lot of selling pressure from this point. And we got the little double top. People don't like trading that. Whatever. That is a double top, and look what happened. All because you don't trade double tops, you missed this long drop now. And we already had diversions in the first place. So That's diversions. If you go and look at the RSI and all that other stuff, you'll see diversions. But anywho, that is what I have for US 30. Then we'll go over NAS 100 real quick. NAS 100 is a little different. See, it already broke past this one, this last previous low. So what makes more sense for me is this previous high right here for this to probably come back. I don't know if it'll come down there. It could possibly come down there. And when it comes down there, then we can have a pullback. Why is that arrow so big? Let's make it small. So we can possibly have a pullback back to this weekly area. And if it breaks back above that weekly area, then I feel like we will have a trend line touch. I feel like it'll come back to touch this trend line. I really feel like it does. But if not, then we can still look for selling pressure once it pulls back. I think it needs to pull back somewhere, and then maybe right here where this weekly is at, we can get some selling pressure back down for that drop. So either or. Um, why did I say this is a weekly area? Well, I don't use it as much, but my Osprey, when I used to look at my Osprey and come over here, where is and what is this? NAS 100? Yeah, this is NAS 100 right here. So if we go right here, it shows you what the weekly support was. It was 147950. And let's see. So it broke the weekly support Friday. See why it was that area, that last previous low has been broken last Friday. That's 14,790, right? So 14,790 is like right here in that area. It broke it. Friday, I was looking for a pullback and seeing if it was going to break this area. Friday, it broke it. So I feel like a retest is probably gonna happen. And if it the whole week, if it closes below this area, then I feel like we're gonna get this trend line retest maybe. But if not, then we're probably gonna get selling pressure and it's gonna drop. So that's what I'm looking for indice wise. I only trade NAS 100, US 30. I mean, I trade Germ 30 and other things, but we're gonna put other indices in here. We're gonna figure out all of the indices so we can trade all of them. Because quite honestly, a lot of brokers have have all the UK 100, the Germ 40, the Australia, Hong Kong. They got all of them on there, and they pretty much move the same. So if one is not showing me a trade setup, maybe I can find one on the other, and we can get better signals going and stuff like that. But other than that, I will see y'all Monday, and have a great week. And we will have a good week in trading as usual. Peace.